Oh, the almighty algorithm. Man, is this a hot topic these days, especially for those of us who are trying to use social media strategically to boost our business and grow our brand's following. Which, if you're listening to this podcast right now, I know that's what you're going for. If you've ever complained about Instagram's algorithm, if you're annoyed that it always seems to be changing, or you've thought it might actually be hiding your content from your audience, this episode is for you, my friend. Today, we are chatting about what exactly is going on with the frickin' algorithm so we can stop blaming it for burying our posts and start using it to actually boost our social presence. I'll be letting you in on the big secret of what exactly the algorithm is looking for and how we can shift our mindset, content, and habits to not only make the algorithm happy, but also all those rad humans that make up your brand's awesome audience. If anything, I hope you walk away from today's episode with a refreshed confidence in Instagram's behind-the-scenes machine and a plan of action for making the platform work for you and not against you. But before we get into that, I want to quickly share some really exciting news. The doors are now open to enroll in our new online course, the Feel Good Social Map. And if you missed it last week, this is a 4-week program where I'll guide you as you create a personalized social media content strategy that is perfect for your brand and audience. So you'll never again be wondering, what the heck should I post? Then I'll lead you through the process of mapping out your monthly campaign calendars, plus planning and scheduling all of your posts for the entire month in just a few hours. Oh man, every time I say that, I seriously get goosebumps because I am so excited for this course. Not only will it make your social media strategy more effective, but this process will seriously save you so much time every month. The 2 complaints I hear the most about social media is that it's confusing and it's time consuming. And this course is going to be solving both of those problems, which is why I just can't wait. This program will begin on March 2nd, but the doors are open to sign up right now until February 28th. So if you're interested in creating a content strategy that works for your business and planning out your social media content in just a few mere hours every month, check out our awesome new program, the Feel Good Social Map, at feelgoodsocial.com/social map. That's feelgoodsocial.com/social, MAP, as in prunes. I don't know why I said that, but just go to feelgoodsocial.com/social map and you'll get all the info there. All right, now let's get into how we can make the algorithm work for us, not against us. Hey friend, and welcome to the Feel Good Social Podcast. I'm your host, Kinsey, and I'm here to help you market your business in a genuine way that works without wasting your precious time. On this show, we chat about social media strategy and mindset tips with a focus on, you guessed it, feeling good. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some genuine conversation for the good of your biz. So this almighty algorithm, what the heck am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you. The algorithm is what curates the content we see on any given social media platform. So whatever content is popping up on your screen on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, even your daily news app, your Google search results, it's all determined by a mathematical equation that was designed to show you the most important and pertinent content. And all the algorithms are a little different depending on the platform, but I will say that they all adhere to this one overarching goal: to show you the best content out there that it thinks you want to see. Today, I'm going to be chatting specifically about how the Instagram algorithm works and how we can use it to our advantage. But I do want to say that most of the grand ideas I'll be talking about today can actually be applied to any algorithm. Just a little something to keep in mind. So the reason I'm focusing on Instagram's algorithm today is because Instagram is one of the most popular social media platforms, and its algorithm has been a fairly hot topic in the past couple of years. Basically, when Instagram started way back in 2010, it used to be in chronological order. All of the posts would show up in your feed in the order they were posted. Now, however, it's not like that. Now, Instagram uses an algorithm to boost some posts so they'll show up in certain feeds over other content. When this change was first made, you may remember people freaked out. They were angry with the change. They said they didn't like it. A lot of people wanted Instagram to go back to its old way of doing things, but Instagram stayed the same. And don't tell the haters, but I honestly like the new algorithm. I actually think it can help us use the platform more strategically. But here's the thing. People still hate the new algorithm. You would not believe how many times I've heard people say, the algorithm is out to get me. The algorithm is hiding my posts. The algorithm is the reason people aren't liking my content. And I'm here to tell you lovingly, no. The algorithm is a freaking mathematical equation adhering to a set of rules, albeit complicated rules, run by a computer. It's not out to get you. It's not hiding your posts because you hurt its feelings. Hidden agendas are for humans, not machines. It just had to be said, guys. We blame the algorithm because we don't understand the algorithm. It's confusing, it's always changing, and up until last month, Instagram has kept most insights into its rules on the DL. And if I'm honest, there's still a lot of things we don't know about the algorithm. But in January of 2020, Instagram actually addressed a lot of the myths and rumors surrounding its system. And I'm super excited to share those with you today. So let's get into it. How does Instagram's algorithm actually work? Oh man, this is a big question, and I'm going to be diving into all the dirty details of what exactly is the most important to IG's almighty. But first, I want to address this on a grand scale. Here's the thing. The algorithm is always changing. Not monthly, not even daily. Nope, it's literally changing constantly. And this is where we're going to get a bit nerdy, okay? So stick with me here. Instagram is continuously taking in huge amounts of data based on its users and our habits. Because it's powered by machine learning, it takes this data and adapts its own algorithm based on new behaviors and trends. Have I gone too Matrix on you yet? But this is what's important to note. Instagram's algorithm is always working to make sure every individual user is having the best experience possible on the platform. It wants us to use the app more and stay on the platform longer. The algorithm curates each of our feeds based on our own individual accounts. It wants to prioritize and show us what it thinks each of us individually will find the most interesting and valuable. And here's how it does it. Are you enjoying this episode right now? Are you picking up what I'm throwing down? I would absolutely love for you to leave a review on iTunes and let me know what you like most about this podcast. Because I'll be honest, your opinion means the world to me. You're the reason I'm here. You're the reason I've committed to putting out this fresh content every week. And I'd love to hear what you think. So, how does Instagram actually rank content and create our feeds? Well, the goal of the algorithm is to analyze two things. It looks at each of us individually as users to figure out what we're most interested in, and it analyzes the content on the platform to figure out what is the most valuable. Then it matches us up with our best content, and our feeds are born. To analyze us as users, it looks at things like, who are we engaging with the most? What hashtags are we following? Do we interact with photos or videos more often? What posts are we spending more time on? Just consider all of your behaviors and patterns that Instagram could analyze while you're using the platform and realize that it's probably analyzing you. A little weird, right? But still fascinating for a social media nerd like me. So if you leave a lot of comments on your college roommate's new baby posts, these posts are very likely to show up higher and more immediately in your feed. Does that make sense? Now, when the algorithm ranks our actual content, it determines the value of our posts based on a few different things. Firstly, it looks at the amount of engagement your post is generating. But what do I mean by engagement? It's so funny because this has been a serious debate for the past couple of years. Since starting my business, I have heard so many different rumors about what is most important to rank on the algorithm, but nobody knew for sure. Instagram's ranking system has honestly been kept pretty hush-hush, but last month, Instagram actually opened up about what interactions its algorithm prioritizes. According to IG itself, the algorithm considers the amount of comments, likes, shares, and video views in the ranking system. Now, this is kind of a mic drop moment for social media marketers like me because we've heard all the things. I've heard from multiple social media managers that Instagram has been putting a lot of weight on the amount of saves our posts get. And honestly, I had a little trouble believing that the algorithm does not take this into account, even when it came from the horse's mouth. But here's the thing. Just because the algorithm is not yet considering this when ranking our content's value does not mean we should ignore it or forget about it. I'm going to be diving deeper into this in a little bit when I start sharing ways to use the platform to our advantage. But just remember this, the algorithm is constantly changing, and our strategy is what we make it. It depends on our audience and goals, not the platform's algorithm. So take everything I'm saying right now and consider how you can make it work for you and your strategy. Don't base your strategy on what I'm saying. The algorithm could start favoring saves next week or not. Nobody knows. We need to decide what's important to us. All right, let me get off my soapbox for a second and get back to the subject at hand. What else is important to Instagram's algorithm right now? Well, let me say this. It's one thing to create one engaging post that Instagram can deem valuable. It's another to create valuable content on a consistent basis. If you're frequently posting content that's getting a lot of engagement, then IG will dub your entire account as valuable as opposed to a single post. It sees this consistency as you providing value to your audience often, as well as nurturing your relationship with your audience often. The more frequently and consistently you give your audience value, the higher your posts will rank on the algorithm. It makes sense, right? Now, there are a lot of things that factor into Instagram's algorithm that truly only the user has control over. For example, if you're following a lot of people, you'll see a smaller percentage of the content that the people you're following are putting out there. Similarly, if you spend a lot of time scrolling on the platform, you'll see more content from more of the people you're following. Both of these factors could influence the way the algorithm curates your feed. But this is really something we can only control for our own accounts. This isn't something we can use to our advantage as we use Instagram to market our businesses. So I'm not really going to get into that. Instead, let's focus on how we can use the algorithm to our advantage. How can we make the algorithm work for us? Oh man, this is such a good question. And honestly, the answer is not really one size fits all. Like I said before, the algorithm is constantly changing, so our strategy should not depend on it. It's important to first come up with a social media strategy that works for your life, business, and audience. You need to understand what you want to gain from the platform that you're using to market your business. Then figure out how you can work with the algorithm to achieve your goals. Does that make sense? Overall, I think the most important thing we can do is to understand the algorithm's core goals. The everlasting, unchanging goal of every frickin' algorithm is to give its users the best experience so that we'll continue using the platform. And for Instagram, the emphasis is being put on relationships. In the past year, Instagram has made many changes to the app and the algorithm to try to put the social back in social media. It wants us to congregate and build community on its platform because it knows communication is the way we can nurture genuine relationships, and emotional connection is the way to our hearts. So generally, the best way we can make Instagram work for us is to encourage engagement and engage ourselves. And there are a few ways we can do this, okay? Let's talk about content first. The first way that we can really encourage engagement and encourage our posts to be boosted on the platform is by creating valuable and engaging content on a consistent basis. A blog post came out in Later recently, actually, that was talking about the algorithm and what Instagram really values. And Instagram itself said that they are looking for frequency. So the more often you can post, great. However, they value more than frequency. Okay, they want consistency in the value of your content. So this really comes down to you. We need to be making sure that everything we put out on the platform is valuable for our audience and encouraging them to engage with our posts. And honestly, one of the best ways we can do this is by planning our social content out every month in just one session, because that's the way that we can really make all of our content work together. We can ensure that it all makes sense and that it's all valuable. And then we can schedule it out and make sure that it's coming out to our audience on a consistent basis. Does that make sense? I love batch creating content. You've heard me talking about this for weeks now, right? And it does take a little bit to get used to. It does take a little bit of discipline and commitment to start and figure out your best workflow and figure out how should I structure my posts and how can all of my monthly content work together toward my ultimate goals. But I promise you, once you figure out your best workflow, once you commit to spending a few hours at the beginning of every month to plan and schedule your social content, it makes all the difference. It really does. It ensures that all of the content that you're putting out there is well thought out and valuable for your audience. And I cannot encourage you enough to batch plan your content. Not only is it ensuring that your strategy is the best it can be and that you're putting out valuable content, but it's also saving you time. And again, I'll just say, if you know that you need to take control of your Instagram, if you'd like to plan out your entire month of social content in just a few hours every month and make sure that it's the best it can be for your audience, but you don't really know where to start, or maybe you feel like you need that accountability buddy to really push you to do it, to really push you to make time, remind you about the hours that you're going to be saving and how much more effective it will make your strategy, then check out the Feel Good Social Map. Again, this is just the reason that I'm so excited about this new 4-week course, because I just really know that it's going to make all the difference in all of our lives. So if you want to check out that program, don't forget to go to feelgoodsocial.com/social map. Another way we can encourage engagement on our posts is to create a great post at its core. And I do go through this entire process in the Feel Good Social Map. It is going to be week 3, actually, that we go into how to really create and plan the awesome posts that convert for us. But I will say that one of the best things you can do to encourage engagement on your content is to always include a call to action. And now, if you don't know what a call to action is, it is basically just anything that directly asks your audience to take an action. So I always say include this at the very beginning and or very end of your caption. It's always a great idea to ask a question, right? Ask your audience a question that they would want to respond to, that's easy for them to respond to, that would, entice them to leave a comment. But here's the thing. If you just ask the question, people don't really feel drawn to respond in real life on the platform, right? A lot of times they'll see the question, answer it in their heads, and move on. They don't know that you actually want them to answer the question in the comments. So one of the best things you can do is to end your caption with a question and then direct them to answer your question in the comments. So you could say something like, I don't know, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite brunch food? I like that one better. You can say, what's your favorite brunch food? Let me know in the comments below. Or even more fun, drop the emoji in the comments below. Anything like that. Make it easy for your audience to answer, but tell them that you want an answer. Be direct. People respond to direct instruction, so tell your audience what you'd like them to do. Another way that we can boost our performance on the algorithm is to engage ourselves. And this is something that I talk about a lot. I know you've heard me say you need to be on the platform, using the platform to engage with intention. You need to incorporate targeted outreach into your schedule. And it's really important because, again, the more that we are engaging ourselves, the more valuable Instagram will consider our account. It sees us developing and nurturing relationships with other people. Also, the more we engage with our target audience, the more Instagram sees this as us developing and nurturing and having a relationship with our target audience, okay? So if you have 10 awesome customers who you always want your posts showing up in their feed, go to their accounts and engage with their posts. And let me tell you this pro tip real quick. Instagram sees DMs, direct messages, as the most personal form of engagement. So if you can drop into someone's DMs on a regular basis, that is a really great way to show Instagram, hey, this is a person that I have a relationship with. And not only will it start showing you their content more often, your content will pop up in their feeds more often. So that's from the algorithm perspective. But if you think about it, it's also just a great way to develop and actually nurture a relationship with your ideal customers. The more you can actually interact with them and make them feel like they're important to you and make them feel seen and special and heard, the more from a human point of view will your account be boosted and your business grow and thrive. Well, that's all I have for you today, my friend. There will always be different ways we can use the algorithm to our advantage. And while they may change as the algorithm itself changes, just remember that while the rules of the algorithm do constantly adapt and improve, its overall goal is constant. We just have to find ways we can make it work for us and not against us. And once again, if you're a down-to-earth entrepreneur who wants to create a purposeful plan for social media and use it strategically while saving yourself time, then please check out our new online course, the Feel Good Social Map. This 4-week program is going to be seriously amazing, and I would love to have you be a part of it. You can find all the info at feelgoodsocial.com/social map. Have a good day, my friend, and I will catch you next week. Thanks so much for listening, my friend. For show notes and a whole lot of other awesome freebies, visit feelgoodsocial.com. Simply go to feelgoodsocial.com for all the goods.